Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and today we're going to take a look at a cool new way to display your Masters of the Universe Classics action figures. I'm going to look at the new environment figure displays from ToyStages.com. Essentially what Toy Stages has done is created these really cool kind of tri-fold backdrops that you can put behind your action figures on your toy shelf to add some really cool kind of depth and displayability to your action figures. We're going to take a look at some of the themed backdrops that are perfect to display with your Masters of the Universe Classics figures today. So first and foremost, this is the way they work. There are these nice kind of tri-fold, heavy-duty cardstock backdrops. So they're nice and solid. You don't have to worry about them ripping or tearing or anything like that. They feel nice and solid, and they stand up perfectly on their own. It's got some really great artwork on there. For example, the one I'm looking at right now has this great kind of green brick inside of a castle design. It's got some really cool kind of torches on the wall, some stalactites hanging from the ceiling, and it's printed on very nicely. It's got a bit of a matte finish, so it's not too glossy, and it just looks really great. So these come in a few different sizes and a few different styles, and we're going to take a look at those today. This is one of the smaller sizes. I believe this is actually the medium size. It measures about 2 feet across and about 10 inches tall. And what's really cool is not only do they have these backdrops, but you could buy floor pieces as well. That way, you can add some display underneath the figures as well. If you don't want to just have the backdrops, you can purchase separately these little pieces that go right on the floor there. You can see these are just kind of some green brick designs, which are perfect for our castle scene here. You can kind of layer those up. You can set your stage on top of it, and we've got ourselves a pretty cool display here. We start sanding in some of our action figures, and you can really see how cool these look on the inside. The tri-fold stage there with the walls kind of curling around the figures, the floorboards there, all add a cool layer of depth to the overall display that just looks really cool. And you can see that the 10-inch size one is a pretty good size on its own. You should be able to fit some really cool amount of action figures on the inside there, and it really creates a really neat scene. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other ones we have to look at today. So we've got that first little castle wall there. We also have a second one, which is another fantastic scene that looks like it's inside of a green castle. But this one here has got a lot more going on with it. You can see there's a computer screen in the background, there's a staircase with a really cool kind of skull motif going down the railing, there's a dungeon door with a big skull on it, there's some chains hanging, almost as if this is like a computer and dungeon room on the inside of a certain green castle. Castle Grayskull maybe? Very cool looking design, and again, awesome artwork that's printed on beautifully, and you can set up some really cool scenes with your figures, maybe looking at the computer monitors in the background, or just use it as a backdrop to stand a bunch of your figures on the inside. Now, I mentioned that these are some of the smaller displays that Toy Stages are offering. They're also offering larger displays. Check this out. I've got the exact same dungeon-like scene, but in the larger scale. And look at the huge difference between this. So let's get this one out of the way. We'll move the smaller one. We're bringing in the big one here. Now the big one is awesome because it stands about 12 inches tall and almost 3 feet long. This is massive. You'll even want to probably add some more floorboards to the display to really expand it out even more. So if you've got a lot of room on your toy shelf, these are definitely worth adding to the display. I mean, look how big these are. It's like completely hiding me here. But it's got the same kind of tri-fold model, so you can fold it out. It's got the same kind of great printed detail on the background, and it's a really great look. You can put all kinds of figures in there, and they just look terrific, especially standing inside this larger one. And one more design we're gonna look at here today. This one is actually my favorite, I think, of the batch that I'm looking at. This one looks like the inside of the drawbridge to the castle. And there is some really great depth to this one because outside that door you can see kind of the bridge going outwards. And if you stand He-Man inside of this one, even doing the transformation pose, which I know wouldn't be inside the castle, but still, look how incredible that looks. That makes for one heck of a cool display. So there you go, guys. There's a look at the new Toy Stages environmental displays from ToyStages.com. If you're looking for something to add to your toy shelf to kind of just make a little bit of a cooler backdrop behind your displayed action figures, these are definitely worth checking out. They come in different styles, different sizes. You can purchase the floor pieces if you want to. And they don't just have things that'll fit your Masters of the Universe figures. They have some other toy stages there as well that can work with some of your other toy lines. You can check them out over at www.toystages.com. Until next time,